ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम। ओम अखंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव। हरि ओम। I'll sing one Bhagwan Shivaji's bhajan because Dakshinamurti is our Shankar Bhagwan. It is a Chinmay Mission bhajan. Shambho Shankara Sada Shiva Shambho Shankara Sada Shiva Sarveshwara Mam Pahi Prabho Sarveshwara Mam Pahi Prabho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho Lingodbhavahara Lingeshwara Lingodbhavahara Lingeshwara Kailasanatha Pahi Prabho Kailasanatha Pahi Prabho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Om Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Om Hara 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 Haraya Namah Om Hara 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 Haraya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Haraya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Haraya Namah Om Shambho Shankara Sada Shiva Sarveshwara Mam Pahi Prabho Sarveshwara Mam Pahi Prabho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Vibho. ओम हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। वेरी नाइस। दक्षिणामूर्ति स्तोत्रम. We have seen 3 verses. Repeat after me. मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानम् वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम् स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे। वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नम् सकलमुनिगणानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवम् जनन मरण दुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानम् शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः. Very nice to chant also. मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानम् वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे. वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जनन मरण दुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि. Some people they chant Chitram Vatatarormule Vruddha Shishya Gururyuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. We have seen the setup of Dakshinamurti teacher and the students. By the way, Bhagavan Shankaracharya or other Mahatmas, they explained what are the qualities of the teacher, what are the qualities of the students, those who want to learn this knowledge. And where they are learning, Vatavitapi Samipe, under a great banyan tree, means under faith. Both side investment is only one thing, that is called Shraddha. Student must have Shraddha, lot of Shraddha on Guru and the scripture and the knowledge. At the same time, master also, he should have some faith towards the children, towards the students. Today if they not, tomorrow they will catch the knowledge. So both side the investment is Shraddha. Vatavidipi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam. They sat on the ground. In Sanskritam, there is a book called Amara Kosham. Name of that book is called Amara Kosham. If we ask our grandparents, few people in our satsangam also, they must have known what do you mean by Amara Kosham. This Amara Kosham is a grantha of the language of Sanskritam. You know? It is like a dictionary. In olden days, for example, if you want to know whether I am a Pandit of Sanskrit or no, you should ask one question: have you read Amara Kosham? If he says, yes, I read Amara Kosham, then we can accept him as a learned person, Vidwan, Amara Kosham. In the same way, in every Indian language, there is an authentic book. There is a system of study of that particular language also. The pinnacle is Amara Kosham for Sanskritam. If you want to read Kalidas, Raghuvamsham or Megha Sandesham, you must have proper knowledge of Sanskrit. Otherwise, you cannot open that words. In that Amara Kosham, there is a word, what we call synonym for buddhi, for intellect, that is called Shemoshi. Swamiji, why you are bringing that topic? You know, Shemoshi means generally our intellect can think about worldly objects. Because from the childhood, our parents and our teacher, our neighbors, everybody teaching on and the only thing that is about a world only. This is rose, this is gulab jamun, this is mathematics, this is English. This is called general buddhi. The term what we use, buddhi. In Amara Kosham, that Kavi, he used, if we have one particular material in this buddhi, that is called Shemoshi, Shemoshi buddhi, he says. If you have that Shemoshi buddhi, you can think about Brahman. That's why some people in some satsangas, first time only they will catch that Brahma Vritti. That day onwards, they start, you know, a journey in the spirituality. Many people, they may sit, but many people, they may not enjoy this knowledge of spirituality. Many people, they don't appreciate, because if we don't have that buddhi, we cannot appreciate this Brahma Jnanam. That particular buddhi, Shemoshi buddhi, it only can reveal Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti means that Amurti Rupa Brahma. Brahman, which doesn't have any name, which doesn't have any form, which doesn't have any quality. If you want to know about that particular abstract truth, you need a particular buddhi, that is called Shemoshi buddhi. So, in general word, it is called Shuddha Sattva buddhi. Now, so in Amara Kosham also, about this buddhi, Dakshinamurti buddhi, they explain that we need. And one more point, in the previous class, you know, we said Vruddha Shishyaha Guruhu Yuva. In the particular this Dakshinamurti class, all the Shishyas are Rishiganas only, but they are very, very old students. Whereas the Guru is very young, bright, young boy. You know, we must learn one thing from this thought. That is, there is no age restriction to know Brahma. Our Acharya also, when we studied in Sandipani, many times he said, don't expect any certificate from the teacher. in this Advaita Vedanta study, you cannot expect any certificate. It maybe you may say it is completely useless for the world. There are no any kind of restrictions or any kind of particular modes in learning the Brahma Vidya. That is also we can, because Shishyas are Vriddha and Guru is Yuva, it is complete contradiction seen. Anyone can become a student. For example, Prahalada, Bhakta Prahalada, at the age of 5 only, he become realized Brahman. He became a Brahma Jnani. But if you see his age, he is just 5. I know. Sanaka Sanandanadi also, they are always young boys. Still they are ready to learn Brahma Jnana. Shishya may be old also, that also can be possible. Kabatti, there is no age restriction for the student. Anytime he is allowed into this Brahma Vidya Mandiram. And Guru also. There is no need to Guru should be a white, long, beard, old person. Guru can be Yuva also. Because in very early years only he realized the importance of knowledge. In spirituality also, some people give importance to Karma Kanda, some people give importance to Upasana, and they spend a lot of time in that. Because they are very, very sattvic, very joy-giving activities. They are not ready to leave those practices. Whereas the knowledge is, this is a Vairagya-oriented study. If anybody realized that greatness of this Brahma Jnana, then he can become a realized person in very young age also. So Vriddha, Shishya, Guru, Yuva means everyone is allowed to know this Brahma Jnana. Even child also allowed. If he can understand, who knows? Who is there in whom? Vriddha, Shishya, Guru, Yuva. And my Acharyas used to say, Guru, whoever, like our Guru, Guru, definitely he must have known both sides of the classroom. One is about Jivan Mukti Sthiti and so and so and so, that corner of journey. Jivan Mukti state means complete purity, complete oneness. This is all about Jivan Mukta state. Another corner is complete impure, untrained student. Student is of course untrained because he is the first time coming to ashram. He wants to learn. That is only Sattvikata. He doesn't know anything. So Guru cannot say why he is thinking like that, why his vision is not accommodated to this and that. Both corners he should know. And he should lift this impure, untrained student to the all perfect state of that Brahma. That is the great job of Guru. Only Guru can do. Even parents also cannot do this job particularly. So, Guru, Ishvara plus Dayalu. He himself is God. That is not enough for us. If he himself is a God, he only will enjoy. But at the same time, he is a Dayalu also. Dayalu means he wants to lift the student crowd or the common people to the great, great altars of the truth. That's why our Puj Gurudev used to say, he should not be only preacher, he should be teacher also. Preaching is very easy. Let them people 1 lakh or 10,000, the speech is same. Teacher means he has to contact with the people. Our Gurudev done this job. He inspired thousands of people and he helped them in the movement of the spirituality. He supported them. He did his sacrifices for the progress of common people. That's why he cannot be only preacher. He should be teacher also. The teacher means there is a connectivity between the listener and the speaker. That kind of Dakshinamurti, we are doing prayers. These are all called Dhyana slokams. Today, we will see fourth Dhyana slokam. Please repeat after me. Nidhaye sarva vidyanam bhishaje bhavaroginam gurave sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Together. Nidhaye sarva vidyanam bhishaje bhavaroginam gurave sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Namaha. Namaha means I am doing my salutations. To whom you are doing Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. To that Dakshinamurti, I am doing my salutations. Oh, what are the Visheshanam of your Dakshinamurti? My Dakshinamurti is Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam. First adjective is he is Nidhi. Nidhi means he is a temple. He is a house. He is an abode. To whom, Swamiji? Sarva Vidyanam. To all Vidyas. If you want to know about Vidya, you have to reach my Dakshinamurti on. Because he is the Nidhi of all education. He is a Nidhi of all type of learnings. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam. He is the abode of all knowledges. Swamiji, you said Sarva Vidyanam, all types of knowledges. How many types of knowledges are there, Swamiji? How many types of studies are there? Vidyas. Our Rishis, they said, Vidyas are two types. One type of Vidya is called Apara Vidya. Another Vidya is called Para Vidya. There is a specification in our scriptures. Apara Vidya means worldly knowledges. This is also Vidya only, but not Para, not supreme. Because it cannot give that supreme object, or what we call that supreme thing. This knowledge cannot bring. That's why we call them it as a Apara Vidya. Apara Vidya means worldly sciences. If you want to know even worldly knowledge also, Shiva is the Guru. Sarva Vidyana means even worldly knowledge is also he is the teacher. That's why in our Hindu culture, for every branch of Vidya, they keep Shiva as their Guru. For example, if you want to learn Nrutyam, Nataraj, our Bhagavan is Nataraj. If you want to know the Sanskrit grammar, they say Panini. Panini is nothing but avatar of Shiva. If you want to do yoga, what to talk, Swamiji? Yoga Guru is Shiva. Patanjali. For all types of branches of study, even what we are studying now, Khagola Shastra, Bhugola Shastra, these are all from him only. Music, Apara Vidya. Another feature for Apara Vidya is, in Apara Vidya, result we can see. Whatever we are, for example, he is a perfectionist in the dance. We can see that. We can experience. Everybody can experience the result of Apara Vidya, phalam of Apara Vidya, phalam of worldly sciences. Second Vidya is called Para Vidya. Para Vidya, to get a teacher for Para Vidya is very difficult because we cannot see para vastu first of all. Here dance we can see, music we can see, Sanskritam we can see, yoga we can see, but we cannot see Brahman. Gurudev always used to say, I cannot prove Brahman in the laboratory. H2 plus 2, oh, mix water, say this is Brahman. That way I cannot prove Brahman. So in Paravidya, the subject matter itself atindriyam. Atindriyam means senses and mind and intellect cannot grasp it. Paravidya. Methods also. Goal itself is a sacred one. Methods also very, very sacred. We cannot say there is a Sravanam, there is a Mananam, there is a Nididhyasam, you come and practice. No, many factors will be there to stop them. That's why Guru for Paravidya is very, very. To that subtle subject also, somebody should be there to teach a common. We are all common people only. We have not done any great sadhanas, but Gurudev, like Mahatmas, they can tune with our mind. That is the greatness of the teacher. They can tune with our mind and they can cater that subtle thoughts, the form, the way, how we can understand. That is the greatness of Guru. For both Paravidya and Aparavidya, Bhagavan Shiva is the abode. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam. And Swamiji, Bishaje Bhavaroginam. He is a Bishak. Bishak means he is a doctor. Oh, Bhagavan Shiva is a doctor. Chikitsak. Bishak means complete translation is he is a Chikitsak. Chikitsak means operation theatre surgery karta hai na doctor. He is like that. Bishaje. For which disease, Swamiji? Bhavaroginam. For Bhavaroga, he is the doctor. Bhavaroga means samsara rogam. The samsara rogam, it is such a way we enjoy that disease. Generally, other rogams, for example, any cancer or something, if we have, it is a suffering. So we run for the doctor and we want treatment and get rid of that rogam. But whereas the samsara rogam is very tasty, Swamiji, because we put raga buddhi in this samsara. I know. To this kind of rogam also, drop. Gurudev always used to say, drop physical idea, what we call physical attachments, mental attachments, and intellectual. 3 drops only you do, you can realize complete bliss state of your own state. But we are not ready to drop anything because there is an attachment completely for everything. We know body is impermanent, still we thought it is me. Emotions, of course, Swamiji. Ideas, of course. What to talk of worldly objects? This rogam is called Bhavarogam and we completely love it. He is the doctor. Vishaje Bhavaroginam. Our Swamiji always used to say, Bhava means, translation, to become. Generally in Vedanta we use 2 words, Bhava, Bhaya. Bhaya is about past. Bhava means I want to become. Every individual keep this disease. Are you happy now? No, Swamiji, I want to become that. Then only I will be happy. I want to become powerful. So you are not now powerful. So you want to become powerful. Then only I will be happy. I want to become beautiful. Now I am not looking good, Swamiji. I want to become beautiful. I want to become successful. I want to become cheerful. And this is a common thought for us. Because right now we are feeling an emptiness. If I get it, I will be complete. That is called full. And that is okay. You are feeling emptiness. You want to fill it with something. But that there only our ignorance work. I want to fill that emptiness with world. That is our thought. But in fact, there is no bliss or happiness in any object of the world. That bliss and happiness is nothing but our own hridayam only. This disease is called bhavarogam. Bhavarogam means I want to become something, then only I will be happy. So who can cure, Swamiji? Okay, rogam is common. Commonly enjoying this rogam. But who can cure, Swamiji? Bishaje Bhagavan Shiva can cure. With what, Swamiji, this bhavarogam we can end up with the vairagya buddhi. All the attachments are because of raga buddhi. Raga buddhi means we superimpose. We superimpose a taste on everything. If it is a tasty, why it is not giving taste to everyone? If there is a happiness in any worldly object, it should be happy for everyone. But it is not a fact. No object can satisfy all people. Many people, they hate what we love. So, with Viragata, Bhagavan Shiva will cure this unsettlement in the world. That's why if you want to see Vairagyam, the house is Bhagavan Shankara. He is a complete picture of a Viragi, Sadhu, Sannyasi. See his greatness. He is the Lord of universe. He can do anything. He can be like anything. Still, he prefers this Vairagyamu only because he knew the value, the greatness of this passion. That's why if any Mahatma, if he has Vairagyam, that is Sarva Pujaniyam. Always worshipful attitude is this passion. Bhagavan Shiva, complete his life is like that. That's why he can accommodate all type of people. Asura, Deva, Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha, Naga. Everything can get accommodation at the feet of Lord Shankara. Such a powerful. Nidhaye Vishaje Bhavarogina. Ramabana Aushad is Vairagyam. This is the medicine for all kinds of diseases. Bhagavan Shiva is that. Guru is that. In Tulsi Ramayana also, in Uttarakanda, Tulsidas ji, he says, we all have one common disease that he says that is called Manasarog. Manasarog means always disease type mind, Swami. We are very much careful about physical diseases because they are very smelly, fussy and unholy. We want to get rid of that problem. Whereas our mind also completely ulcery. Puj Gurudev, he uses that word. So many ulcers are there in our mind. Wounds are there. Completely they bleed. All kinds of attachments, hates, likes, dislikes, jealousy. He says this is called Mansik Roga. Nobody can cure it. Why, Swamiji? Majority of the people are suffering with the same texture of the mind. So who can cure? Sadguru Veda. Sadguru is the doctor who can cure that portion of our student personality. Sadguru Veda. And he says, Aushadam Vachanam. The Guru Vachanam is Aushadam. It works like a medicine to treat that Manasika Roga. Aushadam Vachanam. Shraddha Paityam. Paityam means in doctor, if you go, they say some Paityam. For example, as long as you take this medicine, so long you mix with honey and eat it, then only it will work. It is a supplement. That supplement is called Shraddha. So if you reach Guru with Shraddha, with his speech, with his teachings, he can cure this Mansik Rogam. So the miracle, If we remove that impurities from the mind, that mind is nothing but Brahma. That mind is nothing but Sarva Shaktimati, Sarva Jnanamati, Sarva Vyapaki. This is one cloth only. All minds are nothing but one mind only. We only broke it, pieces, cut it, and become very narrow jiva, the Brahman only. Who made like this, Swamiji? This ignorant mind only. Therefore, we need this doctor. Vishaje Bhavarogina and Gurave Sarvalokanam. Bhagavan Shankara is Sarvalokanam Guru, Jagat Guru. Is the teacher of all. Any corner of the world can surrender to Bhagavan Shankara. Gurave Sarvalokanam. He is Brahma Swarupi. At the same time, he is the first teacher. First teacher of Brahma Jnanam is Bhagavan Shankara, Acharya Mahapurusha. To that Dakshinamurti, I am doing my salutations. Actually, in Bhagavan Shiva prayer also, this sloka and next sloka people chant Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavarogina Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. This is the prayer for Bhagavan Shankara, even for common people also. This is all his glory. Bhagavan Shiva Smarana itself, you know, Om Namah Shivaya, so much inspirational. And the next sloka is also very, very important. That is, repeat after me. Om Namah Pranavardhaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Together. Om Namah Pranavardhaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Namaha, Namaha, my salutations. To whom? Dakshinamurtaye. To that Dakshinamurti. This is called Chaturthi Vibhakti. In Sanskritam, for every noun, 7 Vibhaktis are there. First case, second case, third case, fourth case. This is a Chaturthi Vibhakti. Ganeshaya Namaha. Gurave Namaha. Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. To that Dakshinamurti, I am doing my salutation. Who is your Dakshinamurti? Om Namaha Pranavardhaya. My Dakshinamurti is Pranava Ardhaya. Ardhaya means who is indicated by Pranavam. Pranava Ardhaya. Ardhaya means indicated by Pranav. What is Pranavam, Swamiji? Pranavam is nothing but Om. To that Dakshinamurti, my namaskar. Om Namaha Pranavardhaya is nothing but Om. That's why Gurudev used to say, Om is the indicator, Brahman is the indicated. That's why in BMI chart, you know, instead of Atma, Brahma, he used to write Om. From Om, V, Vasanas. From V, B, M, I, body, mind. That Om become body, mind, intellect because of Vasanas. If you remove that Vasanas, this BMI only, that Om. BM. And what is this BMI, body, mind, intellect are doing, Swamiji? Body perceiving objects in the world. Mind feeling emotions. Intellect thinking thoughts. This is the complete chart of a jiva. BMI chart. If he explains this BMI chart, one shot Brahma Jnana. Whether you want to stay at BMI or you want to reach your own home, that is called Om. And that Om Pranava Ardha is Dakshinamurti. Om Namaha Pranavarthaya. Where is this Om, Swamiji? You are Om. I am Om. Everything is nothing other than Omkaram, that Brahma Swarupam only. If it is with Rajas, then only it will label many individuals, man, woman, this, that, thing. If it is Sattva, he can appreciate, yeah, everything is Brahma. That Shuddha Om Swarupam only. That is Dakshinamurti. I am doing my salutation. Om Namaha Pranavarthaya. Now the sound, that letter came Omkaram. Our teachers want to tell something about what is this Pranavam, Swamiji. Pranava Ardhaya, that master, he said, generally what we call Pranavam. We also use Pranavam. Pranavam means Om, Om, Om. Few meanings are there. First meaning for Pranavam is Prakarshena Navaha. That they call as Pranavam. Prakarshena Navaha means, Prakarshena means perfectly. Navaha means fresh. Pranava means all time fresh, all time new. That is called Pranavam. It cannot be contaminated with time. Anytime fresh. Actually speaking, no object has this kind of quality. Whether you can keep in refrigerator or you can keep in a air-conditioned room, it will spoil, including physical body. Swamiji, I want to keep my baby in a air-conditioned room. Baby will grow, whatever you do. I know. But whereas this Brahma is Taja, always Taja. So, many people, Swamiji, what is the Tajaness in this Brahma? That is nothing but the bliss. You cannot say bliss is old, bliss is young, bliss is modern. Bliss is always bliss and it is same in all times. This Brahma Anandam, the same Brahma Anandam experienced by old our ancient Rishis, even now we can, if we try also the same Brahma Anandam. That's why it is always fresh. It cannot be contaminated by the time. Same Brahmanandam by Vishwamitra Rishi, by Vasishtha Rishi, the same Brahmanandam by even now the students who are trying to experience it. That is called Pranavam, Prakarshena Navam. Always fresh. And one more meaning Mahatmas they say for Pranavam. Pranavam is nothing but Prakarshena Nuyate. Stuyate anena atma va ishtadevata va. Matlab, if you want to do any prayer or praising, then please add Omkar. Then it will be called Prakarshena Stuyate. Stuyate means you want to pray or praise. But if you want to make it full, add Om. Whether Atma va, Ishtadevata va. If you want to do Nirguna prayer, please take the support of Om. If you want to pray the Saguna prayer, please take the support of Om. Atma va, Ishtadevata va, Prakarshena Stuyate. If you add Om, that will be full. That's why in our mantra system, whether you chant Gayatri mantra, Narayana mantra, Shiva mantra, you must add Omkar. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Sri Sadgurave Namaha. Om. For Ishta Devata. Or if you want to do Atma Dhyana, Gurudev, as I told, if you want to see Brahman, that Omkaram only Brahman. So that is called Prakarashena Nuyate. Nuyate means if you want to do the meditation, prayer, puja, you must add this pranavam. That is called Omkaram. This is another meaning. And the third meaning, Mahatmas, they say, Om is nothing but, it is a big meaning, but very briefly I tell. Om is nothing but three words, A, U, Ma. In the Omkara sadhana, if you want to do, you have to utter these three words. In Mandukya Upanishad, he says that, Rishi. Akara, Ukara, Makara, and Amatra. That is also fourth matra in Omkara, that is called Nishabdam. Maunam. From that Nishabdam only, you start with A, O, Ma, and end with the into that Shabdati. These four together is called Omkar. Whereas the Akara is called Virata Swarupa. Akara represents Virata Swarupa. Okara represents Hiranyagarbha Swarupa. Makara represents Ishvara Swarupa. And this Nishabdam represents Shuddha Brahma. Virat means this gross world. This is Bhagavan only. According to Vedanta, Virata means this gross world is nothing but Bhagavan's gross form. And to this world is because of Hiranyagarbha, Bhagavan's subtle form, Samishti Manaha Adipati. And before that, Ishvara, Maya Sahita Brahma, that is called Makara. And these are all from Nirakara Swarupa, that is called Shuddha Maunam. The entire four together you call Om. Nothing more than this. Everything is nothing but Om, Om Eva. Whether it is Sagunam or Nirgunam. This is all called Pranava Ardham. Om Namaha Pranavardhaya. And one more special feature about Omkaram is, Om is both Ardhatmika and Dhvaniatmika. It has a meaning. Akara, Ukara, Makara, and Akara is nothing but Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara. And this is all called Ardhatmika Omkar. Ardhatmik means to know something is there. Dhvaniatmaka Omkar is also. Dhvaniatmaka means only sound can transport us to that plane of consciousness. Because Satyam is such. You drop all sound attachments, you can reach that Nirguna Nishabda Brahma. So Om has both Ardhatmika and Dhvaniatmika also. Simple Omkara sadhana only can reveal that ultimate truth. In Prashnopanishad it is said, if you chant only A, Akara sadhana, you reach a particular lokam. If this is only sound sadhana, it is there in Upanishad. If you do only Makara sadhana, you reach that particular lokam. Lokam means a particular plane of consciousness. Or if you chant only Makara, you reach that particular plane of consciousness at the loka. This is all Shabdhatmaka sadhana. Omkara has both Ardhatmik and Shabdhatmik. This is called Om Namaha Pranavardhaya. Pranavam is nothing but Bhagavan Shiva. Particularly in our culture, actually I think nothing can surpass this Om, the holiness of Omkar. In many religious activities also, if they start the religious activity, they don't use any worldly. If they want anything, they say Om, Om, Om. They call all the people Om. That is the holiness of Om. That Om is nothing but my Dakshinamurti. Om Namaha Pranavardhaya. And then Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye. He is a Murti. Murti means a form. Which form, Swamiji? Shuddha Jnanaika Murti. He is a Jnana Murti. Which type of Jnanam, Swamiji? Shuddha Jnana Murti. Generally, Jnanam is two types. One is called intellectual Jnanam. Intellectual Jnanam means always fluctuations. Ups and downs. Depending upon many objects or people. This is all called intellectual Jnanam. He is not that Jnanam. He is Shuddha Jnanam. Shuddha Jnanam means knowledge itself. Not knowledge of anything. Gurudev always used to say, knowledge itself is Brahma. Knowledge of anything, if you say, that is Buddhi Vyavaharam only. Bhagavan Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye. That pure Shuddha Jnanam. Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye. Nirmalaya. And he is a Nirmalam. Malam means impurity. Mala. Nirmala means he is pure. Single piece. Gurudev always used to say, what do you mean by purity? Purity means other than that, nothing is there. It is the only one. That's why it is pure. Nirmalaya. Impurities in Vedanta, they say impurities are three types. One is called Mala, Vikshepa, and Avarana. These three impurities we carry always. This is not any particular impurity, like he is drinking, Swamiji, he is smoking, Swamiji, not that impurities. Mala, Vikshepa, Avarana, they called as impure. Avarana means it is an impurity which covers the knowledge. Avarana means veiling, which covers the knowledge. Avarana. It covers that knowledge and truth, and moreover, it projects something as the truth. That is called Vikshepa. World is not Satyam. That Buddhi, it says world is real. Brahman is Satyam. It doesn't know anything about Brahma. That is called Avarana and Vikshepa. If you ask Swamiji why this Buddhi is behaving like this, that is because of this Mala. In Yoga Shastra, they say so many kashayas will be there in our heart. We take very light, every activity we do very lightly, every thought we allow it to think. But they all add lot of impurities in our mind. That is called Malam. As long as you have this Malam, this Avarana and Vikshepa are very, very strong. That's why our people, they say, do spiritual sadhanas. Then only knowledge can work efficiently. Do punya karma, dana, dharma, japa, tapa, tirthayatra. This is all can remove that malam. If malam is very light, then knowledge can shine. Bhagavan is free of these three. That's why he is Nirmalaya. And then Prashantaya. Prashanta means Prakrishtena Shantaha. How can be? He is always peaceful, Swamiji, because he doesn't have any malam. If you have impurity, agitation, it's byproduct. All impurities, they make our mind agitated. It is complete practical truth. He is completely free from all impurities, then where the Ashanti can come? How can mind agitated? And moreover, this Shantata is our own home. So Nirmalaya Prashantaya Prakrishtena Shanti. This is not Shanti of BMI, not body, mind, intellect Shanti. This is the Shanti of absolute truth. Satyam, Shivam, Advaitam, Shantam. In the Upanishad it is said, Shantam, Shivam, that Advaitam is Shivam, this Shiva is Shanta. One Mahatma said, it is 100% right. Even now, thoda sa Shanti is there in the world. We are not completely like animals. Still, we are behaving with some limitations and some respects. And this is all little bit Shanti is running. This Shanti all because of Bhagavan Shiva. Otherwise, we make world as a chaos. Because such an impurity we keep our mind, always fighting nature and not accommodating people. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, ityadi only many times they come out from our heart. Still little Shanti is there in the world. This is because of Bhagavan Shiva's meditation. He is holding that thought Shanti and he is holding this Jagat also. So little transferring to this Jagat. Many people, they say, if a householder, that owner of the house, or Tandri, Pitu, father, if he is a Shanta Purusha, automatically in his presence, a whole house will be peaceful because my father is like that. This Shanti is also because of him. He is holding that Brahma and meditating on him. At the same time, he is holding this Jagat also because he is a Pashupati. Otherwise, we will become Anadha. He is our Nadha. So, thoda Shanta. Ityadi, this is all his Bhiksha only. See, to that kind of Dakshinamurti, I am doing my Namaskar. These are the Dhyana slokas of Dakshinamurti. Actually, they are not written by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya's stotram from Vishwandarpana. So, next class we will start. So, these 5 are the Dhyana slokams written by different Acharyas, including Sureshwara Acharya and other Acharyas. One more time, we will chant these 2 slokas together and then we will conclude. Nidhaye sarva vidyanam bhishaje bhavaroginam gurave sarvalokanam dakshinamurtaye namaha. Om Namah Pranavardhaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate